Welcome to Dan ARG YouTube. Osakwinokwodim say the problem of Edo South started from Obaseki. Even if we blame Oshomole, make I leave you, make you hear from Osakwinokwodim. The message we bring come today.
Telling you the truth very direct. Our problem in Edo South started from the former governor of Edo State, Governor Godwin as Obaseki. Even if we blame Oshomole, even if we blame anybody that is currently creating problem for us in Edo South, we must also agree that the problem we have politically came from Obaseki. Good evening, everyone. It's me, your brother, your friend, Comrade Stanley Osaze Osakwinokwodim. This is a beautiful evening. I want to say happy Sunday to you guys. I'm here live this evening to discuss on issues that bother on the Edo South interest, from political to economy. And my focal point is targeted towards Oredo local government. For those who understand the technical terminology, the Benin terminology, Oedo, before the name was attached to that local government, it therefore means that development actually started from the central business district of Edo State, which is Oedo local government. Oedo. That's the heart of Benin. And if we fail to get it right in Oedo, believe you me, we have succeeded in failing in all ramification of Edo South. Some of us are angry with what is happening in Edo South, but we refuse to speak out because we said, since you have chosen that it should be like this, we will assist you to ensure that it remains like this. But I received a call from so many persons this morning to the extent that the likes of Apostle Alfredo Yunusa also called me as early as 5 a.m. today to say Osakwinokwodim, we will never allow Edo South to remain like this. We are first three in the media space. Yourself, himself, and Abato Bazel. And he also made mention of common sense. That was what prompted Apostle Yunusa to make a post this morning to talk about the big four. The big four. And I told him, as for Osakwinokwodim, I have chosen to remain and also agree with the current development in Edo State. Since we have chosen to adopt such policy, we will collectively also adopt it. But he also insisted by saying no. We will not, because of the fact that we have our personal interest or disagreement politically within us, we will allow Edo South to shrink or to flow into the backwater of political decadence. I saw reasons with him and I said, no problem, I'm going to make a video tonight. First, even if we are playing politics, we should make sure that we do not give room to disgruntled political and economic elements to take over our political and democratic infrastructure in Edo State. I was surprised to see persons who are not even qualified at all to run for an elective position also coming out to claim that they were disqualified. How can you be disqualified when you were not even qualified in the first place? For you to disqualify somebody, it means that the person possesses some qualities and trappings of eligibility in respect to the office in contention. In respect to the office under contention. But in this case, those who are agitating in the first place, from the academic perspective, they are zero. From moral perspective, they are zero. From physical perspective, they are zero. And they are saying they were disqualified. No. There wasn't any form of disqualification. There was no qualification at all. Because before you talk about qualification or disqualification, you must look at the capacity, the ability, the technical know-how, and the intellectual prowess. In this context, this set of persons scored total zero. And I'm also surprised that they are saying that they have been disqualified. But I think we can no longer keep mute. Edo South belongs to us. Edo South is our project. Edo South is our interest. We must jealously protect it. Election is coming in 2027 and we have other ones in 2028. We must get it right. And I want to use this opportunity to send a message to party leadership of the All Progressive Congress. I'm not a member of All Progressive Congress, but I think it has become so important for us to be able to actually confront the menace that we have identified. First, what I've noticed is that the leadership of the All Progressive Congress, specifically those from Edo South, they are operating on the basis of selfishness. They are operating on the basis of personal egocentrism at the detriment of the collective destiny of the Aminu Kano Talakawas in our society. First, Edo South today under your watch has the largest population in terms of numeric value, but have zero political strength in terms of political decision making. The All Progressive Congress is controlled by a leader from Edo North. Also, the PDP is also controlled from Edo North. Edo South, which party are you in control of? Some person will tell you about the ADC. We have leadership in ADC who ordinarily are from Edo South. But the question is, do they have the final say? I was shocked to also notice that within the 3 senatorial districts of Edo State, Edo North have the right to also choose who becomes their senator. Edo Central has the right to choose who becomes their senator. But Edo North and Edo South is disagreeing with the right of Edo South to choose who become our senator. I'm hearing from Bush Telegraph, although not confirmed, quote and unquote, that the likes of Yeson Wike will be the one to decide for Edo South. I may not be against Yeson Wike, but I think that is a calculated attempt to relegate the people of Edo South to the background. And as Osakwe quoting, I think if I keep mute, I'm not only doing disservice to myself, I'm also orchestrating disservice to the good people of Edo South. And I want to call on everyone. The dispensation of Obaseki ended in 2024. No matter your disagreement, the only right you have to disagree is that the likes of Aswa Ighodalo was not the governor of Edo State. But I think the administration has passed. Obaseki do not have the right whatsoever to rule over 13 in line with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I think that it is time for us to allow bygone to be bygone, for us to stand firmly and also confront our collective problem, which is the political leadership of Edo South. I'm not concerned about who wins elections, but I'm concerned about who have the right whatsoever to actually decide based on our collective destiny and interest, not because somebody somewhere wants to superimpose candidate or leadership on us. We are parading numeric capacity, would build intellectual interest. Do you actually have political power? In the past, under the PDP, Chief Anthony Akakon Aneni from Edo Central was in charge of PDP. Adam Oshomole from Edo North was in charge of the ACN, Edo South. Who are you? And where do you truly belong? Some persons will not want to agree to this fact, but this is the fact. You may love this discussion tonight, but be ready to accommodate the truth, because as far as I'm concerned, my broadcast tonight is purely based on unfiltered thoughts, telling you the truth very direct. Our problem in Edo South started from the former governor of Edo State, Governor Godwin Obaseki. Even if we blame Oshomole, even if we blame anybody that is currently creating problem for us in Edo South, we must also agree that the problem we have politically came from Obaseki. This may be very painful to you who are watching me right now, but it's the truth. And I'm going to explain for you to properly understand the basis for my submissions and the nitty-gritties behind my actions tonight. First, there is a difference between governance and politics. But get it clearly, for a clan to be strong in the political hemisphere or political climate, such a clan must have a better political representation. Obaseki may have succeeded in building roads, Obaseki may have succeeded in building infrastructure, but believe you me, Obaseki relegated the people of Edo South politically. And that is why you are seeing what we are seeing today. When I received a call from a brother and also a political ally who said, it is time for us to reawaken our capacity and our alliance. But I told him the bitter truth. I said, nobody is witch-hunting Edo South. Edo South in itself is the problem of Edo South. If we must address the problem of Edo South, we must confront Edo South in itself. When you are confronting Edo South, it must involve confronting the leadership of Edo South. Be opened and ready to assimilate and also accept the truth. Listen and digest my submission. At the end of the day, you agree with me. A man who lived 300 years before Christ, Aristotle once said, politics, they say, is the science of collective happiness. Man by nature is a political animal. Before I stray on that, in Abraham Lincoln Gettysburg speech of 1863, one of the greatest presidents of the United States, who founded the tenet and principle of democracy, he said, and I quote, "Democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people, which is the ruling of the few, down to the ruling of the many." It therefore means that no matter the formation you create, there must be politics. Why are we identifying the problem militating against Edo South? I will also provide a solution to the problem militating against the people of Edo South. Now let's start where we got it wrong. In Nigeria, we operate a political system as if we were in the then Portuguese parliament, where every individual had reserved the right whatsoever to bring in any form of manipulation in the process. In Edo State, we tend to follow the rules, but Nigeria refused to follow the same rule. Let me give you a classical example. A citizen of Edo South was nominated by Edo North man, His Excellency the former governor of Edo State, Oshomole. He said, and I quote, Dr. Pius Egberano Ojobu, you are supposed to be the next NDDC chairman or director from South South. A believer came and said, no, it is not our turn. Failing to understand that in the entire Nigeria, nobody follows the tenets or principles of turn by turn. Nobody follows the tenet or principle of turn by turn. And Edo South man fought against that appointment, relegating Edo South to the background. Few months after that, and Edo North man again nominated a candidate from Edo South to be the governor of Edo State. And Edo South man also said, and I quote, for the purpose of maintaining egalitarianism, it should be channeled to Edo Central. While we collectively agree, it's fine. I may dispute that of the governorship position being zoned to Edo South again for the second consecutive time. But I want you to understand, for those of you who are in Edo South, if such opportunity is given to other clan in Edo State, they will repeat administration. They are only negotiating with you because you have the numeric capacity without having the political power. And the goal is very clear. Let us demystify the strength of these persons so that they may not have the capacity in the future to continue to hold stake in the political spectrum or hemisphere in Edo political climate. Edolites. Agbahia no go Owamana mama akboru ugbo. It is time for us to build a unison. This is not to say, because some people will say, why we will not accept that people in unison when Obaseki was there, they disgraced him, they did nothing. To be sincere with yourself, if you refuse to accept the truth, Obaseki deserves to be disgraced. Obaseki, as the former governor of Edo State, actually deserves to be disgraced. Now, let me tell you, in Kogi State, no, in Benue State, it was Senator David Mark that said, I am tired. Let us give it to others for them to strive. While Obaseki was the governor of Edo State, open your ears for the truth. There are things that I know that you don't know. I will not spill anything tonight, but I'll give you information of just 1%. Then you will know why the likes of Osakolo Pudding have been angry as far as politics is concerned. Somebody wrote today, when Apostle Edo South made the post of the Big Four. He said the Big Four, Osakolo Pudding, Abat Obaze, Mr. Common Sense, and himself. I shared the video, I shared the post, and also agreed. But there are some slight modifications. He talked about the Oshomo and others. And I said, you may have videoed Oshomo. You have no information about Oshomo. Before you video Oshomo and gazetted it, I was the first person who videoed Oshomo in the whole of Edo State. And I did it live. And I said, and I quote, I also enlightened him today. I said, the people of Iyanomo community hosted Oshomo, but the people of Iyanomo lack the ability to actually have access to the same Oshomo they hosted in their community. Some person said Oshomo have been an alternative electricity in Edo State. Who told you? How many persons connected Osomole in Edo? It was designed to power government buildings and some private individual. And those private individual and commercial buildings paid more than anything. Why did Iyanomo? Why didn't they connect? Iyanomo did not connect because of the huge amount of money, despite being the host community. Huge amount of money they requested for Iyanomo to pay, running about 10 million naira or plus. I said, and I quote, you may think you video the environment with all key information about that area, but we are not concerned about the development, because we cannot come out tonight to say that Osomole is not a plus, Radisson is not a plus, Mowa is not a plus, even when we know that those particular infrastructure belongs to individuals and not even those who we thought are the investors in Edo State. But let's look beyond that. Under Obaseki dispensation, an average Edo man is considered as a thief by Obaseki. Quote me anyway. Osakwonokwodim said this. You don't know, I'm telling you tonight. Obaseki said that every Edonites are thieves. That was what prompted the likes of late Charlie Temple to angrily leave the party. That how come no single Edo man got any contract? The likes of TJ from Bayelsa State were the one getting kickback from government contracts. You don't know. I may not choose to open my mouth tonight, but if you must fix Edo South, Obaseki does not deserve it, because what they are saying is this: because they are defying some level of marginalization, they will not say, "Hey, Obaseki, no." Obaseki does not deserve protection. He worked but for political level, he reduced Edo South to the barest minimum. And for those who actually thought that the Esan agenda was because Obaseki loved Esan, no, it wasn't like that. It was a situation of after me and my friend. I will give you a classical example. Osakwonokwodim is the governor of Edo State, for example, today. And the likes of Qualifications is an Esan man. And everyone knows that Qualifications is my ally. And at the end of the day, Osakwonokwodim, since I have noticed that Qualifications is an Esan man, I will tell every other person, because I want to hand over to college, I will tell every other person, don't run. It is the turn of Esan. Not because I love Esan. After me, now my friend. That was how the Esan agenda was cooked. Not for the love of Esan. For those who are misinterpreting the situation. It is not for the love of Esan. It is after me and my friend. You know, so many persons attacked me. They called me all sorts of names. But they really do not understand what is going on in secret. They really do not understand what is actually going on in secret. Edo South. Edo South. You don't know Obaseki. So for those who are thinking that, hey, men of Wasunu, anybody go the evil rain. Even if there is an evil rain, there is no justification whatsoever to bring in Obaseki into the picture. Obaseki said openly, I cannot work with the thieves in Edo South. With the thieves. Quote me anywhere, verbatim. With the thieves. That is how he looks at all Edo South people. Up to ID card comes in from Lagos. You may not like to hear the truth. I was shocked some few days ago we were saying campaign talking about Oredo local government area of Edo State. And I said, come on. Even if we have been reduced to the background, a failure in Oredo is a failure in the whole of Edo South. Oh, come on. Just because you know how to iron native, you know how to wear wristwatch and a very good clothing system. Also, you know how to lie. Also, you know how to bully people or to slap people in the streets. Also, because you have the capacity whatsoever, because of government revenue, unalive a little born baby, it is not a yardstick to compensate you with the core part of Edo South as becoming a local government chairman in Edo South. Come on. Even if we have believed that the use of English language is not the basis of governance, that does not undermine the resultant effect of certification in politics. My late friend Omoluwa Stafiki lacks the ability to talk in public. My very good friend Isoke Igbelosun IST lacks the ability to begin to shout and begin to explain in public. But give these two set of persons the pen, they will topple the entire Edo State with their pen. There are some persons who are introverts, but they are intellectually sound. That is where the lives of IST and my late friend Omoluwa fell into being. The Romans were afraid of the pen than the barrel of a gun. So even if you can't talk, you must possess the intellectual capacity, the intellectual prowess, and also the adequate certification. Even if the military selfishly wrote a constitution claiming that for you to become governor or to attain any position in Edo State or Nigeria, you must attempt. That is not enough reason for academic gladiators and political juggernauts to allow some selected disgruntled political elements to take charge of our political and democratic infrastructure to perpetuate evil. Tonight, my broadcast is clear. You must, as an Edo South indigene, be ready to stand and confront the anticipated political hegemony. But let me tell you, the Edos will always say, and I quote, Araleladia, Aridia, Aralelago, Arigo. It is time for you to stand and look at the face of the next man. Evinu na Emma, Uwamana Mama, Akbor Hugo, Atanyami, Nokokogago, Edolite. And also, I have a message to the would-be or the self-acclaimed Obaseki group. You have no legal right whatsoever to speak on behalf of the Oba or the good people of Edo South. You cannot continue to recruit people to satisfy your aim. Obaseki using the palace infrastructure to protect yourself. Because as of today, your interest will not be protected. You are saying, hey, people will not agree. And you expect people to follow suit in such political, in fact, such political ideological meandering. Edo South, if you must stand the test of time, it must be on the basis of sincerity, fairness, and justice, and not on the basis of let's go by the way of no. I made some videos a few days ago. I won't deceive you. I said, and I quote, what I needed in Edo State is infrastructure. And I agree with that. But I was prevailed upon this morning as early as 5 a.m. Apostle shall not let me sleep. I may not be able to say all what we discussed. But Edo South, wake up. As at now, you dey sleep with big thick pillow and better mocha foam wey water dey. Wey dem dey make sure say you no go wake up when you dey sleep till when time pass. I am not in agreement with the former governor of Edo State. Based on what I've identified, some people said, why didn't you speak? Why was the governor? Why are you speaking now? Let me tell you. When the Most High God sent message to King Nebuchadnezzar as a terror, he refused to heed. The principle of mene mene tekel yofasin came to play. I may not wait for problem to hit me first before I begin to run a tasketer. I learned a very big political lesson on the ordeal of Tony Kabaka, and I said, I cannot be a victim nor a political sacred cow. I will wait. When the time is right, they're not going to tell a person. When the time is right, they're not going to tell a person. They're not going to tell a person. Yeah, they're not going to tell a person. When your eye go clear, they're going to tell a person. They're not going to tell a person. Yeah, they're not going to tell a person. I know that there will be time for Sakuno Hodi to express the fact. And let me also tell you tonight, I want to use this opportunity to say a very big thank you to my single mother. And also to say a very big thank you to late Mr. Roland Osadiaye, the father of Stanley Osaze Eirema Onwenyugie Osakwenopoti Osadiaye, for taking me through the right intellectual tutelage. For taking me through the right tutelage to understand that there are no need for you to be lazy, my son. I made bold to say that throughout the dispensation of Obaseki, I did not send him a single text message nor call him. Tell him to confirm what I've said. Matthew Edopana, where your excellency knows na bibi osakono pudi. Then they also me to come. I know they go. Tonight, I will officially announce I am broadcasting from my heat-up. This was the same heat-up I broadcasted because I packed into my heat-up on the 20th of December 2020. Ask if in the course of this exercise I made a single call or text message. Till tomorrow I've never called Obaseki. I'm not a lazy man. As I speak with you, the job I'm going to do tomorrow, we've already arranged it. And I will use this medium to thank the good people of Edo State. Because if because of the fact that as of today, I won't deceive you, Osakodobodi is okay. However, yesterday, who was Osakodobodi? A nobody. If not for the intervention of a Dolite, forget the fact that I was once a committee vice chairman, they gave me the opportunity to be where I am today. Awful. As of today, I would have been a political babiala, a nomadic politician, roaming about in the world our dreams. When Dolite said no, this young man Sakodokodi, you know how many persons who have called me for their job, they will say, So I have been watching you for more than 6 years. I have been watching for more than 7 years. I have been watching you also 10. Even the last time you sang Oga, carry your ticket, go. This set of persons gave me the opportunity to be what I'm. That's why I'm angry with some persons when they tell me, under Obaseki, you were so. So I said, what are you saying? Don't ascribe the value or the credit of others on Obaseki. Because under Obaseki's watch, I was the CFO man in Edo State who generated the highest revenue to Edo State government. Some person were saying, you know how much Okpebholo is collecting compared to how much Obaseki is collecting. Till today, Okpebholo not dey see money. That one not money for Obaseki dey. Under Obaseki government, na POS government dey receive money. Akpebholo not collect 1 naira. Nobody celebrated 1 billion as cash holder. All were in government pause. Check you, the whole of Edo life, DC or 4 under Obaseki. Even if it is 50,000 per application, let's leave the tax. Add up and look at the revenue that Edo State government were earning just in a month. That is in a particular sector. Not to talk about all tributaries or facets of Edo State. So, they can only hoodwink those who lack the capacity whatsoever to actually identify what governance and sincerity is all about. But for those of us who understand the nitty-gritties of politics, who understand the strategic structure of political development, we cannot be hoodwinked. So forgive those persons who continue to remain a political slave, even when they know that the number of development produced to them by the previous administration is not by any way commensurable with the amount of resources received. But because of politics and political party, they continue to have an unalloyed loyalty to an administration that truly jettisons the collective interest and destiny of our people. Now, the suffering that you think you are facing today did not start today. The suffering came because the man who is supposed to position you destabilized your opportunity. When I said this, it will cause some little uproar, but I would say it for the purpose of the benefit of Edo South. Now, we had a governor in the past. Please share this video if you have not shared. Share this video and invite your friends. We have governors in the past. His Excellency Comrade Adams Aliyu Oshomole, His Excellency Professor Osereme Osumbo, His Excellency Governor Godwin Obaseki, His Excellency Senator Monday Okpebholo. Ask yourself, look at those who fought against the traditional institution. They are the direct descendants of the traditional institution in the Edo State. Those who are not direct descendants are the ones that are protecting the traditional institution in Edo State. Now you see some persons coming out to whip unnecessary political sentiment. People live in Norway. People live in Denmark. People live in Britain. Like in Norway, when you pay taxes, you also pay traditional tax. How much your Oba is getting? Obaseki came out to say Oba is receiving 600 million. And those who stay in a country controlled by monarchy will still join to attack. Ask them. If you stay in Norway, you pay traditional tax without asking questions. In fact, the monarchy in Europe benefits immensely from political administration than any monarchy anywhere in the whole of Africa. The monarchy in Middle East benefits more than any monarchy anywhere in the whole of Africa. And I was told by somebody, and he said, are you not seeing the Oni of Ife building different structure? Are you not seeing this one building? They are not traditional. I say, hold on. You don't understand. I said, what is the difference between Dangote and the likes of Oni of Ife? An investor builds a project for profit maximization. As I build this thing, may give me return when I get money. If a traditional institution actually loves the people, they will build and tell the people it is owned by traditional institution, go there for free. Only of if you build this one, you want it and you pay, they pay your money. What is different between that and Dangote, who is also investing in Nigerian cement factories? What is the difference? Now, some selected persons who have been brainwashed we also refuse to acknowledge the fact. They will say, hey, it is not by hey. Open your brain to think. If you must destroy people, you must first of all destroy their value system. Make them forget where they are coming from. Then you must have been able to take over them. That is why till tomorrow, the British still recognize Nigeria as Anglophone country. Because you've forgotten. I was in school while we were taught the history of town planning. By the grace of God, as a legitimate student of Federal University of Technology, Futa, a technological school, I'm doing that for my personal development and also for the primary purpose of delivering efficient services to my clients. Our lecturer drew it from the initial stage, and I said, with all due respect, sir, I think I have to come in here. He said, let's give Osakwunokwudi the opportunity to speak. And I said, sir, before the advent of the Britons, the Portuguese were in Nigeria. That is the Portuguese, what your grandfather calls the Portuguese. And I said, that is why we must have the pre-colonial, the colonial, and the post-colonial era. And I also told them, I said, we already have a way of life in terms of community, city, and environmental management. I drew them back to the Paleolithic, the Mesolithic, and the Neolithic stage of human endeavor. The Paleolithic, the Mesolithic, and the Neolithic stage of human endeavor. I said, before the Town Country Planning Ordinance of 1946, 1946, and the Public Health Law of the 1920s, there exists a problem and challenge that threatened Nigeria, which was the bubonic plague, as of in the 1920s. And as of today, you have it in Edo State. It's called the Lassa fever. In 1920s, it was the bubonic plague. It was properly managed because of the existing political structure. The Benin War and physical planning development was in existence before the Briton came. And they changed the story for you and I. River Niger that was in existence was also discovered by a Briton called Mogopak. We say the Mogopak compared to the River Niger. So the brainwashing system did not start today. If you must lose your sight, your value, your capacity, you must be made to forget your root title. And that is why this set of people are launching us. Let me tell you the truth. Ordinarily, the Oba of Benin is supposed to hear the eat. Normally, you who stays in Norway, who sees how monarchy endures, those of you who stays in Qatar, those who stays in Saudi Arabia, those who stays in the UK, vehicle of 2027 don already dey Buckingham Palace with the question about Benin, say why they drive Rolls Royce of 2006, whereas vehicle of 2027 is already in Buckingham Palace. They continue to operate monarchical system of government in the West. They deprive you of your right to continue with your monarchical system in Nigeria. And you refuse to wake up. When you are asked, you will say, we're in the 21st century, I don't already go to school. The school they gave to you from the West did not also prevent them from throwing away their value system. We were told that your traditions are evil, but today they refuse to release your evil artifacts. Till today, they refuse to release your evil artifacts. Edo South, una the form so una no book, una the form so una wise. But believe you me, both the one we call himself professor, all of you are sleeping. If you want to get more details, go and read How Europe Underdeveloped Africa by Walter Rodley. This is a society that has value. This is a society that has culture. I have a course in school called tourism. Tourism. By the grace of God Almighty, Edo South, Oshomole is coming. I'm going to give you good certificate by the grace of God. I will be called upon to come and rule in Edo. I will not agitate to rule, but I will rule. Go and mark what I've told you today. By the grace of God Almighty, I will also be part of your political first 11 in the future. I need to develop myself. I'm not worried about political position for now. I will develop myself to also come to serve you in the future. There are so many things we know. But for political reason, Edo South, we have a problem. Not Edo South alone, the entire Edo State. We have a problem. Once we love somebody, even if that person kills our sons or daughter, we'll forget about that and continue to love. But that's blindness in politics. Our love should be based on character of the person we are dispensing such laws for. If you are not deserving, you are not deserving. If you are deserving, you should also deserve. The idea of saying, we don't really argue, no. I want to call on you tonight. Your 100% loyalty should be the first, which is targeted towards the palace of the Oba of Benin. That is why, before you were born, before your forefather were born, there is a language called Oni Okpioba Okuoba. You think you can change it now? When Okpioba wa ya baby here, there is Okpiosa kono kodi. They say so. They say Okpioba, they know Okpioba. They know Okuoba. Don't throw away your culture. Don't. See, God forbid, if the palace of the Oba of Benin keeps it today, we suppose hide down. God forbid, we suppose hide down. Talk less of saying never ever do anything. Sorry, the network was bad. If the Oba of Benin, I repeat it again, God forbid, if the Oba of Benin bypass it today, we suppose hide down. Not to talk of say he never ever do anything. 2006 Rolls Royce. They announced say they give Oba 600 million naira for state where they run into billions. Those who announce the money, they don't also announce what they take, what they took. Transparency demands that when you are announcing the other, announce your own. Somebody who stays in and is a Briton, said British monarch received 130 million pounds of British taxpayer money every month. If you use your calculator, say calculate 130 million. If you use your calculator, say calculate 130 million pounds. Your calculator don't give you results. They never born away to give you results. Yet, we see our Vedulites who thinks that they are intelligent. Now, let me tell you, for you to be defeated, they will first of all defeat the Oba of Benin. When they defeat the Oba of Benin and traditional institution, at the end of the day, you become nothing. Oyibo not to like Benin. Say na here they want to build more. They came because of the history and your culture, not because they love you. If they say they use billions to influence them, you know if you win Igbo or Yoruba for negotiation. They left all of them donated money, came to your own state. Now only one state we get for Edo State, for Nigeria. They came into this area, they went to Benin to cite it, not because now only we do. They came because of your value and your culture. And today, we dey see some Edo South people. They claim say they be activists, they are fighting for the interest of Edo South. Let me tell you, you are killing yourself. This is a clear situation of you slapping your own ass. Let them, as early as 6:30 in the morning, dey my house. By 6:37, I don't move. I can also get jobs wey I wan do for all those police officers. Now you fit go check am. So as I dey feel like I dey go where they dey, and I make go call the community direct. So not fail o. Okay, you now say you miss Ebok. Call Buchi now. Call Kembas. Let them know immediately. For you, you know the Ebok, no shaking. I dey go one community for Orion. I get work for Delta, but I don't push that Delta until next tomorrow because I want me reach like 5. I want to do for Delta once. Call them now, let them know. Sorry, my people. While we're going to do live video, we're also going to, our business is important. We're not to beg anybody to give us food. We're not to go meet governor or anybody. Now, I will tell you also, someone are not vexed as I still receive official call. Now, if they want to take over you, and they see some activists, they form activists, they say, no, you are not intelligent, bro. Oba Benin suppose you sit down, because they eat also food, they collect also money, nobody will talk about that. They are the custodian of your value system. No worry, Sha. No worry. Somebody say it is a lie. It is what British receive 132 million per year and 11 million per month. More if we agree saying na 5 million pounds per month. Calculate the sum of Oba money. It not reach 500 pounds, 500,000 pounds. It never reach 200,000 pounds. It never reach 100,000 pounds per month. Now we take a go where we have some persons who want to also destroy their funding from the secret. For me, I have no problem with Senator Mondo Kwewulu. Do you know why? Ogbawolo can sit. Edo South will come to be reporting to him. Edo South, if you don't know me, you know now. With the lose car. We're going to hit where our problem not there. Imagine the last election. Edo North, na every result where they win election. They wait me they call Edo South result. Now they bring Edo North home. That's cool in Aochi. By the grace of God Almighty, the whole of Edo North no fit defeat Orion and Ubaoha. How come that they decide the result of the election? How come that they decide? Distinguished Senator Edobo Zameri, God bless you. You join people who open our eye. But people don't know what's in the go on. Oba Atokbe, Oba Uboriri. Oba supposed to sit down. Just because they call her Oba alone self. They go they eat, they enjoy, they enjoy. Private jet will fly and go everywhere. They come, they fund all of them. Normal. Non-indigenous who are not Benin's respect our own tradition more than us. And when you ask, they'll say, I bet put that leg, I bet put that leg. You know when we are bet put that leg. I bet put that leg. You know what thing we don't do for time? We did make Umawe rock, my brother. Uwa to boy zari boy. Uwa mana mama. Akburu ubu. You think you are wise? No. The only envy what we receive now, but we by ourselves destroy them. Then, if to say you go let use power take change, therefore change and say the number one king is no longer from Edo South, but not fit. Now history do not be me and you. Esa na chief for Benin Palace. We are all one. Go and get the history right. Esa was the chief in the palace of the Oba of Benin. As an average Esa man may talk about Esa man, he go say Esa man of Benin. He go say Esa man. You know what he say Esa man? He say Esa man. That is to tell you the level at which they love to actually incorporate. But you will get them. You will destroy them. I want to conclude tonight. The likes of the former governor of Edo State, Governor Godwin Obaseki, even when we talk, say we need to build Edo South, he was the one who actually killed Edo South. Get it clear. I know if you come and talk, say you no work. We are not talking about the work. We are talking about the political positioning. Till tomorrow, Oshomole has taken over an indispensable niche. Has taken over an indispensable niche in the political spectrum of Edo State. Not because his name is Oshomole, because he knew that there is always a political future. Let me position the people of Edo North. Let me tell you, the only person that will also serve as David Mark in politics, in the House of Senate, if he chooses to, is Oshomole. You can't remove him. He must say a gang of say no, he don't fit. Edo North already adopt them as their leader. As we speak, go to Akoko Edo. Honorable Akpatasi is as old as democracy in the Federal House of Representatives. Ask what are the secrets behind these actions? When they were there, why they continue to develop the state? They were empowering their people. who Obaseki empower? A sitting governor being driven out from INEC, and you are not worried about that? A candidate drove a city governor out of INEC. If such governor empowering people, who will fit try and drive am for INEC? So we say if they drove him in federal mic, Tinubu did not come there. Go and drive Wike from Rivers State. Why he was even an opposition governor? Go and drive him. They say, why will you employ 200,000 SSA? Say, don't worry. If Tinubu, if Wike comes into Rivers State tomorrow, part of those 200,000 SSA, we say, we start with Wike, because they believe if tomorrow Wike gets another position, he's still going to re-empower them. If Oshomole is coming, somebody face him with the barrel of a gun. Before you press the trigger, somebody will run into it. May anything not meet Oshomole. Because they also know that if they wound because of Oshomole, they will never be abandoned. How many people will collect bullets for Obaseki? But people will not want to hear the truth. Speak the truth and allow the truth to set you free. I'm Comrade Stanley Osakwinokwodim. By the grace of God, the Sea of Woman Edo State, the Sea of Woman Delta State, and also, get it clear, the Sea of Woman Edo State, the Sea of Woman Delta State, and by the grace of God Almighty, the Sea of Woman South region in the future. Everybody look, but planner sees. For those who intend reaching out to me, my phone number still remains 070-3610-9939. I repeat, 070-3610-9939. I repeat it again, 070-3610-9939. Don't make the mistake to buy land without investigating the material content, qualities, and trappings possessed by that land. Because there is no ignorance in law. You don't buy. Give me my money back, no day. You need to know exactly what you are buying before you put in your money. Consult Talusadi Real Estate Enterprise as the CEO of the Noble Consortium. 9 years track record of efficient service delivery. We are here to continue to serve you better. Once again, I remain the Sea of Woman South, Comrade Stanley Osakwinokwodim. Thank you and bye for now.
Now we don't hear from Osakwinokwodim. Let us know what you think for comment section. If you never subscribe to Dan ARG YouTube, try make you subscribe so that make you for the hear all the things where they happen for Nigeria. Make I leave you with this video. Make you help us share them. Thank you for watching Dan ARG YouTube.